Welcome to Morningstar. It's been a year of records for UK funds, and with me today to check out the fund flow numbers is Jack Fletcher-Price. So Jack, talk me through the headline numbers, please.
So in 2022, we saw 23 billion of net outflow from UK open-ended fund space. And the bulk of this activity happened in Q3, where equity strategies alone saw 16 billion pounds redeemed. As a whole year, on an absolute basis, equity strategies saw their largest ever outflow, but on a relative basis, the 2016 outflows were actually more severe. This year was a continuation, and some might say, exacerbation of some of the trends we've seen of flows going to passive and sustainable strategies. Sustainable strategies saw 26 billion pounds of inflow, which isn't as large as the 2021 figure, but non-sustainable strategies or strategies not labelled as sustainable by their asset manager saw 50 billion of outflows.
So on a category level, if you dig a bit down into the numbers, what have you seen there?
So as you might expect, we saw flows to global and sterling inflation-linked bonds, and we also saw flows to short-term corporate bonds, which might be a sign that investors were trying to manage their duration risk, as we saw an elevated sort of rate volatility in 2022.
Is that due to the spike in bond yield that we saw around the time of the mini-budget this year?
There was definitely elevated levels of flows around that period.
So on a fund level then, which funds have you seen have massive outflows and which have maybe done a bit better this year?
So capital preservation strategies offered by Ruffer and Troy saw positive inflows this year, and they were among the largest inflows. And as you can expect, it was mainly growth-orientated strategies that dominated the top outflows.
If growth then has been quite unpopular, I'm assuming there are a couple of asset managers as well who've maybe not done as well as they could have.
Some of the active asset managers, such as Baillie Gifford, Columbia Threadneedle and Janus Henderson, did see a lot of outflow, whereas some of the asset managers that have passive offerings, such as BlackRock, Aberdeen and Fidelity, were able to mitigate some of the outflow from their active strategies.
Now, new year. Do you have any predictions for whether any of these trends will continue this year as well?
So as the rate hiking cycle slows down, it'll be interesting to see how investors position themselves in fixed income and in equities.
Well, Jack, thank you very much for being here today. For Morningstar, I'm Sunniva Kolostyak.